Good morning, family and friends. Welcome to the Woke Nation and welcome to this new day. It's a great day. It's a beautiful day. It's a sweet day. Of course, you are sweet. So I welcome you wherever you are and encouraging you to have fun. Life is beautiful. Have fun. Do you know you can make yourself happier? You can make your, no matter what the condition is around you, even within you, you have a lot of things to make yourself happier. Do it. Stop killing yourself. You know, remember the thousands of people that are now dead because of coronavirus, but you are still alive. Are you worried that you don't have a job anymore or you don't have anything? What are you planning to do after coronavirus? Are you going to go back to the same shit that you were in before the coronavirus? We should learn a lot of lessons from this coronavirus. Yes, if you happen to survive this coronavirus, because I don't know whether you will die, I don't know whether you will be alive, but if you happen to survive this coronavirus, you have to make a new plan. You have to live a new life. You should know now that money cannot sustain you. Had it been you have your own food, you have your own store where you store the food you make, the products from your farm, do you think you'll be crying now? No. But they succeeded in detaching us from what matters and make us focus on what does not matter. And we think because they promise us, oh, you see, that person have that big house because he is a graduate. That person have that big house. I'm not against you being a graduate. And a graduate being a farmer is not a taboo. A graduate being a village champion is not a taboo. But they made us believe it's a taboo, especially those criminals you call men of God. They tell you that going back to your village is a curse. Living in your village is a curse. You must live in the city. You must live in abroad. Religion is at the root of our problems. You don't want to accept that, but that is the fact. Who are the people running the world? Religious people. The people running the world created religion to control you. Because without religion, you will revolt. Without religion, you will not buy their bullshit. They want you to believe. Keep hoping that one day God will come and help you. God will come and bless you. God will come and fight for you. Oh, there's this place they used to mesmerize us. Psalm 35 verse 1. When you go to prayer houses or people, all these prayer warriors, they love Psalm 35 verse 1. Fight them that are fighting again. No God is coming to fight for you. No God is coming to plead your cause with those who are striving with you. No God, you are the one that will stand up for your cause. Oh, I'm not just saying it. If you have been following me on Facebook, you know when the legion of Christians, the legion of theists, when they come against me, commenting, I stand my ground. I never seek for anyone to help me. I tell them I will bury you with facts. I keep talking. They keep insulting me. I keep insulting them. They keep saying, I keep saying. They are saying what the Bible said, but I am saying what I am saying, which reflects on their life too. Their life is evidence of what I'm saying. You want God to come and fight for you against those who are fighting against you, and those who are fighting against you have power over you. Where was that God before they even came? And you believe that God exists. So, my family and friends, I welcome you because I want to spend some time to talk about this. That's why I titled this, Let Us Argue About God. Why? Why are we arguing about God? We are arguing about God because God is dead. God cannot speak for himself. The dead cannot speak. If you say your God is alive and you are the one speaking for that God, it's either that your God is dead or you are stupid. You don't know what you are saying. The dead cannot speak for themselves. The dead cannot show up. No matter how you say your father, your dead father love you so much, somebody take you to the court, your father will never show up there to defend you. You say, my father gave me this, my father gave me this land. You have seen some people lost their life fighting over a land they said their father gave to them. Their father never show up. Why? Because their father is dead. The same thing is happening today among religious people who believe in Almighty God, yet they are the one fighting. God has blessed me. God has given me this. God has done that for me. Where is that God? It's nowhere to be found. Why? Because God is dead. I am calling on you who is arguing about God. Know why you are arguing about God? Because God is dead. God cannot speak for himself. God cannot show up. God cannot do anything. There is nothing God can do for you. There's nothing God has done for you. Yet you still see some grown-up saying, oh, I know what God has done for me. Nothing. You don't know nothing. You are the one that is ascribing, attributing your sources to God and apportioning all the blames on the devil. Oh no, you share the blames. You take 50, you give devil 50. But God take 100% of the glory. Because they tell you, in everything, give thanks to God. If you don't give glory to God, God will deal with you like Nebuchadnezzar. God will deal with you like Herod. Fuck that God. You see, it sounds good in my mouth when I say that. Fuck that God. Somebody said, it has passed 24 hours. When I think it was 2 days ago. That was... today is Sunday now. That's on Friday. He said, in 24 hours, something will happen to me. I said, be specific and stop being stupid idiot by faith in imaginary being. If you want something to happen to me, if you know something will happen to me, be specific. Mention the name of that thing that will happen to me and tell me when it will happen. So I know it is what you said that happened. So I have passed that level of threatening somebody, saying, God will do this. Something will happen. I give you you cannot, if I give you 3 days and tell you certain thing will happen to you, it will happen. Because I am connected to my source. I am connected to my root. I am not a vagabond. I am not a branch engrafted into another vine. No, I remain in my tree. Christianity cut me off from that tree. I put myself back. Oh, I remember when I changed our family name from Ezanwe to Ezeb, but then it was because of the vision I had. I didn't know it was I was seeing what happened to us. Because I saw a big tree in my family. Then that branch cut off. I interpreted it to be that I have been cut off from family cause. And I thought that's why I am doing better. No. That's what religion did to Africans. It came to our tree and cut off our branches, divided us, separated us from our tree. The living speaks for the dead. That's why you are the one speaking for that dead God. The God you are arguing about is dead. When you say argue, you are not arguing wisely. I don't argue with sheep. How can I be arguing with you when you are arguing for a God you say that exists? I have not spoken against you directly. I have not said that you does not exist. I have not said you are useless. But I've seen people saying that I am useless because I say God is useless. I said Jesus is useless. They say I am useless. They are cursing me. I remember in my town's group, I shared a picture of my beautiful great daughter. And somebody said, your daughter is useless. You know what? I just blocked the idiot. I have never said that he or she was useless. I'm talking about God. But because his or her God is dead, he must speak for that God. The living speak for the dead. The dead have hands, they cannot do anything. The dead have mouth, they cannot speak. The dead have eyes, they cannot see. The dead have nose, they cannot perceive smell. The dead have ears, they cannot hear. The dead have legs, they cannot walk. The dead have body, they cannot move. They are lifeless and powerless, just as every god that people worship under the sun. The living speaks for the dead. The God you are speaking for is dead. I know some of them, when they see this topic, they say, oh, this guy is calling us to argue about God. Far be from it. Argue about God? How can we be arguing about what does not exist? No, I'm trying to open your eyes to see that your faith is blind. Your belief is ridiculous. You have to wake up and stop arguing about God. See how people are suffering and dying, and you are arguing about God. You are saying there is God. Where is that God when people are suffering and dying? You cannot go about your business as usual anymore. Your daily routine messed up. Your plans messed up. Some of you plan to marry by this time before coronavirus. Some of you plan to go about some business. Some of you had interview in an embassy for you to travel abroad. Everything suspended. And yet you will say there is God. Why are you woe to him that mock his maker? God is not my maker. How can you say God is my maker? Have you seen God? I know my makers. One person did not make me. Two persons made me. It takes two to make one. One cannot make one. It takes two to make one. A God and a goddess, a man and a woman, it takes them to make somebody like me. Look at me. Do I look like somebody that God created? I'm not a creature. I am not a creature of a God. I am an extension of a God and a goddess. When you see me, you have seen my father and my mother. I'm not like the Jesus of the Bible that say he that seen him and seen his father. How about your mother? Because we need to correct all that nonsense that people, we are talking about our forefathers. How about our foremothers? King of our town, how about the queen? Listen, my people, you who still believe in God, which God are you talking about? Or let me ask you the first question. Where is your God? Now I say, let us argue about God. Bring your God. Let your God speak for himself. You that is an African that believe in God, do you have the same God that the Indians and the Chinese and the Japanese people have? You African Christians, African Muslims, African Jews, do you have the same God that the Indians and the Chinese people or Japanese people or the Asians or whatever other people have? Do you know how many gods that people worship in this world? Then you think your own. There is only one God. And you are sitting there in Africa. There is only one God. You don't even know the whole Africa. There is only one God. You don't even know the whole places in your own country. Yet you're saying there is only one God. Do you know how many gods that people worship around you? If your own is true, their own is true also. And if your own is false, their own is false. And the truth is this: every God is false. Every God is dead. They cannot speak for themselves. Second question: which God are we arguing about? Which God are we arguing about? Is it the one our people who claim to be following Ordinala is worshiping? They call it Chukwu Okike Abiyama in Igbo. I think Yoruba call their own is Shango or Ogun. What Yoruba have their own. I don't know about Hausa. I know Hausa, most Hausas are Muslims, like the northern part of Nigeria, the northerners. They are Muslims. I don't actually know because I only know they know Allah. But they are Africans like us. So they must have their own God that they worship apart from Allah. But you that is claiming to practice African spirituality, have you seen that Chukwokika Abiyama? Have you seen that God, that spring being? You said there is spring being. Things will not happen just because. Who told you that? Everything you are saying or people are saying, it is people saying that. There is no God that have come out and say anything. Are we talking about Amun-Ra? The God that people worship before Yahweh, before Jehovah, before Allah, before Buddha. Which God are we arguing about? Which one do we want to argue? They have about 4,200 religions worshiping different gods in the world. And if you go, that's the major one. So then there's other one they say is about 80,000 religions. You don't know who is worshiping who. Even some people you think they're worshiping the same thing with you in your religion. No, some of them they have another gods they worship also. Just as you see some African Christians after the church service, they go to native doctor. They go to other God in search of solution. Don't mind anyone that say they worship one God. When they have problem, if you tell them there's another God that have solution, they will leave that God and go for solution. After they will come back. As I was speaking, let me act like a man of God. That thought came on me. Remember Naaman? When Naaman went to Elisha, right? After his healing, he said, permit me, oh, I want to take the sand of this land to worship your God. But because let your God forgive me, because when my king go to worship his own God, I must be there. It's a must. No God can stop me from obeying my master. But permit me, pardon me. It's like a Catholic member. So they know that there is forgiveness. They will go for weekly forgiveness, so that the Father, I have sinned again, or you know. Which God are we arguing about? Is it Yahweh? Yahweh is a new God. It's a new God. It's a junior. Yahweh, yeah, Yahweh. Yahweh is about 6,000 years old. The Yahweh you worship. Are we talking about Jehovah, who have a son called Jesus Christ? Are we talking about, it's also new. Are we talking about Allah? It's also new. All of them are new gods. There are older gods that people has been worshiping for thousands of years before Yahweh, before Jehovah, before Allah, before Jesus. And I stand to say, let the living God speak for himself right now or forever remain silent. We don't need that God. A God that cannot speak to us on Facebook live broadcast is dead. A God that cannot speak to us in video chat is dead. A God that cannot speak to us in phone call is dead. You have a phone. God's supposed to know your phone number. God's supposed to be calling you directly. You don't need a man of God to stand between you and God. You don't need Jesus Christ to stand between you and God. If that God created you directly as you believe, let that God speak to you directly. As you go, as you go. Which God are we arguing about? Let the living God speak for himself or forever remain silent. We don't need such God. And many of you are like the God you worship. When you see the truth, you cannot say the truth because you are like God, that dead God that doesn't speak. You becomes dead in the presence of truth. You see people doing injustice. You see people doing bad things, you keep quiet. You are like that God that cannot speak. He see people ruining the world he created. He see people killing people in the world he created and control. He keep quiet. And those of you that believe there is God, why are you not even thinking or talking about the goddess? Where is the goddess? Why are you so wicked against the very body that brought you forth into this world? Because they brainwash you to believe there is God. You even abandon your own mother. I don't blame you also, because even your own mother is so religious that she sees herself as a cursed woman, but another woman that never existed as a blessed mother of her God. And that's why you believe the same bullshit your religious mother believe. You believe the same bullshit your religious father believe. You need to wake up. How about the goddess? Why is your God only he and not a she? You say your God is a spirit, but when you want to talk about your God, you use him or his. Why can't you use she when you're talking about your God? Why not? If your God has no sex, if your God has no gender, if your God don't have penis, why are you using him for that God? If you say your God is a spirit, you have not seen. How do you see him to be using him? You haven't seen that God. A God without a goddess is like a man without a woman, which is homosexual. You should know that it were homosexuals that created that God you have today. You call Yahweh, Jehovah, and Allah. Homosexuals. They hated the females. They killed the females. And there's still females that are dying for them, even to date. Females fighting for a God that was created to subjugate them, to suppress them, to silence them, to cause them, to make them lesser vessels. They say, hey, you done. Most of them are women. Look at people attacking me on social media. Most of them are females, young girls that when you see, you know they are still young, very beautiful. But they sold themselves to a God that hated them and cursed them. Everything about them that God caused them. They haven't period, he says a cause. They haven't childbirth pain, he says a cause. And they are worshiping that God. And that God promised them for salvation after death, not even in this life. Some of them brag, I will give birth like Hebrew women. Which Hebrew? Which Hebrew women? They never existed. It never happened. There is no woman in this world that can give birth without having pain. Because no pain, no gain. Just as I said in the last video, no death, no life. No pain, no gain. Stop being against homosexuality when you are worshiping a God that has no goddess. It's like you being against abortion when you are worshiping a God that drowned the whole world, only left 8 people alive. A God that commanded for the annihilation of the whole people, men and women, young, infants, even unborn. The God that commanded to open up a pregnant woman and bringing out the baby and dash it upon the rock. That is the God you worship, and you will be against abortion. Where is that your God? You say he care about life that make you become a pro-life. How many lives have been dead because of coronavirus? Where is your God to save those lives? If those lives matter. You say all life matters. Where is your God? How many thousands has been dead because of coronavirus? Before we enter 2020, we were jumping. Nobody know coronavirus will come. Steve, my co-worker, is long dead because of coronavirus. Early this year, I walk with him. A young boy, if you see him sneakers, he's so fly. He said, yo, I share his picture. But Steve is no more. If somebody would have told him that time, man, you will not see March or April, he will say, no, he will curse you. But Steve is dead. But you are busy arguing. There is God. I believe in God. How can you say, you see the stupid excuse that are giving now? Why are you saying I'm worshiping a God I have not seen, but you are locking yourself up for virus you have not seen? Who tell you cannot see coronavirus? There is nothing that exists that you cannot see. There are technologies that have been developed that you can use to see them. What can you use to see your God? Nothing. All you have is delusion. All you have is hallucination. You call them vision, revelation, and dreams. As there is no man without coming through a woman, there is no God without a goddess. If you are here because a woman gave birth to you, know that God that does not have a goddess does not exist. It does not. If you want to see the living God, look for a mirror around you. Look into that mirror and you see the living God. Just as you can see one on the screen now wearing red shirt with African map, with Igbo cap, hat, having bottle of water. One God idea is evil. That's why when you read Isaiah chapter 45, verse 5, he said, I am the Lord. There is no other God beside me. There is no God beside me. So when people tell me you are atheist, I say, no, it's your God that is atheist. I am God. There are other gods and goddesses. I am not the only one. I am not a jealous God. I'm a generous God. I am not a jealous God. I practice fairness. I don't want you to worship only me. I don't want you to follow only me. I don't want you to listen to only me. I don't want you to bow to only me. I don't want you to give me all the glory. No! You work for that glory, it's yours. Don't give it to me. Don't follow me. Live your life. What do I have that you don't have? Do I have two heads? Understand that these people are evil who created the one God religion, telling you there is one God. That God is saying is the Lord. There is no other God. Then he said, I create evil because he is evil. One God is evil. He's a jealous God and he creates evil. A God that creates evil is evil because like begets like. I cannot create evil because I am not evil. I am good. As I said in closing, the God you speak for is dead. When I say dead, it simply means non-existence. It simply means that God is powerless. It simply means that God is imaginary. It simply means that God is useless in reality. Think or stink. Peace.